All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to From the Depths with ChillBuilder showcases. This one here, basically left off, picking up where the last episode left off. We're showing some historic-based units. This craft is a low-cost Corvette, and these are Age of Sail units designed for use in any potential future Age of Sail campaigns. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm not making one, but I know people have been trying to make one. And it's not easy, but in case it does get released at some time, I'll be ready. I know we're using a lot of techniques and technology that's not present in uh, Carolus Magnus's uh, ongoing Age of Sail campaign, but I do like my breadboard and my deco stuff. This particular animation took a long time uh, to get right, so let's see if it works well for this showcase. All right, let's see if we reach a certain altitude. Ah, yes. So the idea of these Age of Sail units is that obviously they use Age of Sail technology. Um, yeah, there's no engines, there's no cheats here. These are all real sails. Let's see. Yeah, these are real sails, and it's flying on wings based on the sail power. So basically, it's a glider. This particular craft is inspired by those, um, not John Wick, uh, John Carter of Mars aircraft. It's a little bit of a cult movie or cult following, whatever you call it, a movie that not a lot of people like, but it's got some interesting ideas there. Yeah, that's a movie from maybe about 10 years ago. It was a big flop, but I really like their airship designs. I think they did a cool job there. It's got the concept of this is a lot of age of sail ships have low velocity weapons, so something like this would just orbit its target very far away and then uh, fire these ginormous depth guns with time frag. So it'll be able to eviscerate anything without being touched, but it will die very easily to its own style of weapons, unfortunately. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 of these guns, I think. Yeah, 16. And I got the control set up to fire in groups or all at once. And it will definitely flip the ship if all of the guns fire at once. Pretty fun. It's got a little bunk area in the back. So that's the most animated one. And this one is just a simple scout for any kind of Age of Sail activity. It's very cheap at 6K and it's got 6 firepower. So yeah, it's just guns strapped to sails. What else do you need, right? And it's got a front sight attack pattern, so it will point at its target, fire, and then fly away. The top speed is, I guess, is similar top speed to the other thing, the Corvette. Let's see what the speed is for the Corvette. A similar speed, like with sails, I think with all sailcraft, there's a particular top speed that cannot be exceeded. So we're pretty much just strapping on sails until it reaches that speed. Not much else I can do about that. This one, it's the Fortepiano. So all of these are named after musical instruments. So this one is called the Syrinx, which is a type of flute. I think. I'm not an actual music expert. This one, you know, clearly, it's called the Harmonica. I can't find the name. This one, the bomber, is called the Fortepiano. Uh, it just punches down, so it's a bomber, and it has the most armor of all the craft. And it's very firepower efficient as well, at 30% armor. Um, so everything's wood, or applique. There's no metal anywhere that I believe, and this is not a glider anymore. This is very heavily compartmentalized helium chambers with applique reinforcement, and the ammo is spread out all over the place, so to prevent chain single detonation destroy the ship. And if it's been shot at from below, it's very hard to hit these ammo barrels. So that's the concept anyway. Um, and it's also sail powered. There's no engines. The engine power is just to power the Hearthstone. So there's no what you call it. There's no thrusters on here. Yeah. It is possible to build a full uh, captain's quarters in the back, but I just don't have time to deco everything. And the second floor below too. A lot of compartments that you can rent back and physically walk to. It's really nice. I think these are since it's a bomber, the firepower is quite efficient. We have very low shell speed. It's very hard for any kind of target below to evade this ship. That's why it's very efficient. But the only problem is we do have to get quite close to be able to do the top-down attack. And for each craft, we got a different sail layout plan as well. So these are kind of like on the side and in the front. The next big one, you got a long-range artillery vessel. So each one has a slightly different role. So we got a kite, attack kite with an attack pattern. We got a orbiting gunship. We got the top-down bomber with a tanky design. We got this another slow and long-range bombardment artillery thingamajig. So this is a Calliope cruiser. It's very expensive. I expect any Age of Sail campaign to be kind of resource poor compared to the Neater campaign resource uh, being doled out. Yeah, just because everything's wood and you're using like broadside guns or simple weapons or CRAM. So this one, 100k material, 100 firepower, almost no armor, which is a little bit concerning. And just with how it's laid out, the helium chambers are quite vulnerable compared to the blimp design. Because if people shoot the guns, the helium chambers are in the middle of the ship. I just wanted to make a ship that looks like this, but it's quite difficult to get it right. A little bit inspired by the Goliaths from Castle in the Sky, a Studio Ghibli film, but instead of all these propellers, it's got sails just everywhere. We got a triangular sail plan, and then we got these protrusions in the back, and then we have these elevators and rudders. It's got huge broadside guns. I can pretty much eviscerate anything in its cost bracket that's made of wood Age of Sail campaign. But it's very good at receiving damage as well, just due to the size and low evasion ability. So that's a kind of trade-off, and obviously without any metal, it's quite difficult to protect this craft. So the idea is for this kind of cruiser, it'll be escorted by all of these other craft working together. All right, next up is some introduction of my um, LowTech or historic units for use um, in the Finest Hour campaign. So there's no CRAM, no guided missiles, and what do you call it? No energy weapons, obviously. And here, I gave myself the rule of not using simple jet engines or custom jets. So everything is powered by propellers, and yeah, obviously no lasers or particle cannons. Uh, what else? And no front side airships. So these do contain quite a bit of heavy armor, but they're all kind of evenly spaced out around the craft instead of using the heavy armor wedges we're all familiar with. So this first here is a kind of destroyer cost bracket. Heavy bomber. It's got very efficient bomb firepower. These are glide-based bombs. It's got a heavy armor hatch to protect the bomb bay. And when the bombs are ready to be released, they got remote guidance glide. So yeah, they're guided, but they're bombs. They're not powered projectiles. Just because bombs are so terrible in front of the depths due to speed and physics, I think they need a bit of extra help. And the other reason for remote guidance is that you're not allowed IFFs in this game mode. I think you can still have sonar torpedo because they got a limited um, forward comb, but I decided to not use torpedoes in this campaign because I feel like torpedoes are just overpowered. You're not allowed to use sea whiz in the finest hour, so there's basically no defense against torpedoes. I guess you can use middle interceptors, but I don't because none of my craft need to be in the water. Got nice interior build for all these crafts. The Age of Sail ones, I just did not have time to build interior. I kind of ran out of steam at that point. So we got this like very cool balcony thing, and then we got that's a helium chamber, and then here we have kind of living quarters, with beds, pretty minimal stuff, but some nice rooms. And that's that. The cheapest one here. So this one can destroy any kind of destroyer or cargo ship, and even like cruisers in the finest hour campaign. It's got a heavy armor lining on the bottom of the ship, and really doesn't need too much heavy armor elsewhere. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly tanky for what it does. And I guess I have to say, it's obviously inspired by the Kira airship from Red Alert. I don't have the bombs hanging out on the outside just because, mechanical reasons. This one here is a Sable blasting gunship based on one of my old sketches from my pre-From the Depths days. It works quite well. It's a little pretty little craft, um, but just with how the fans are laid out like this, it's not super efficient in terms of taking damage and staying airborne. Um, in my original sketch, the aircraft are supposed to be powered by magical crystals, which you can substitute with jet engines, but because I banned jet engines, we have these little fans which are inefficient, let's say. Um, and this little craft uh, lovingly got a beautiful little interior. And this whole bottom section is, sorry, this whole bottom section is empty, and then in the case, it does get ported into Neater for some reason. It's got some decoys hanging on the bottom of this cargo bay, which I think is great. And the cost of this is uh, the cost of a heavy destroyer, and it's got that firepower and decent armor to match as well. So we can definitely demolish a lot of units in its own cost bracket uh, in the finest hour, but it's not something that's able to uh, hit like up above its cost bracket, just due to how it needs to be laid out. And then it's got these like lots of these low defensive air defense guns, which are actually fairly effective as well. I think they fire time frag, so it needs to get close, but just being an aircraft, it is able to do that. So that first one is called the Calamity. This next one, that's the Starfall, and this here, that's Benevolence. As you can see, a lot of these aircraft are able to land. They have landing gears, and the landing gears change their height based on roll and pitch of the craft, so it automatically adjusts so that the craft can remain decently level while landed. So this ship here is called the Benevolence, and it takes uh, a 300K material. It takes the diff bow to almost extreme level. So what goes into the enemy, it takes on different angles and fires the diff. It's got extremely redundant lift system, and it can lift itself out of the water due to the fact that it is a melee design. So it fires to kind of weaken the enemy, and then it closes aim for melee. And then there's harpoons kind of spread out around the front of the ship. Got some pretty extreme yaw thrusters or propellers here in the back. So that there is a Benevolence. And then, of course, for an Age of Sail campaign, I can't not have a watercraft. So this is a uh, all aspect hover tank that is also amphibious and tracked for land. It has these rams in the front that can ram to demolish buildings, or as you call it in normal life, bulldoze buildings. This whole craft is both based on low velocity guns because lands are banned in finest hour. So I want to see a craft where lots of low velocity shells are constantly streaming into the target, and I just want the screen to be filled with shells. So this is kind of what this craft does. And yeah, it's called a diplomacy. Is kind of a light cruiser type unit with very efficient firepower and decent armor. It turns its sight to the target to get armor damage absorption on all of the frontal arcs of armor. These are diff guns that are just decorative. They fire once and then they're done, and then these two turrets and the main turret are the actual damage dealing components of the craft. Finally, here we have the Integrity Fortress, and as you can see, it can land. It's got 8 ginormous Sable cannons. It's got some flavoring diff guns as artillery pieces up above, and it's got these low defense anti-aircraft turrets. The giant Sable cannons are mounted on pistons, so they can always get a firing arc to the target, and then the whole fortress can rotate. Let's see. I think the previous two craft don't have an interior, but Integrity Fortress has a very nice interior. So there's a landing pad here, and on all these little uh, bastions, I guess, what they're called. And then you can enter here. There's a bunch of walkway, and then you enter the main building. There's war room, armory, mess area, kitchen, bar, control room, uh, captain's quarters, and got those cute little towers. And obviously, this is based on uh, early industrial age Star Fortress. And you can see everything taking up to the air. Yeah, very nice. This one has a cost of 1 million and 600 something firepower and 47% armor. So this thing can take down a tier from Niter. Has no missile defenses, but just dueling with other kinetic weapon-based design, it can win in its cost bracket, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's do a little bit of a rating tutorial with demo with this aircraft. Let's see. It has a top speed of oh shit, it did not record it properly. It does have a steam engine. You can see these beautiful bombs getting dropped. Ooh, yeah, there's the thing. Well, looks like the underside is made of wood and the floating compartment has been breached. We're kind of turning it around. The bomb bays are closed, unless the bombs are ready to drop. And now the bomb bays close. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Is that an aircraft carrier? That's interesting. So here you can see this ship with all of its guns is approaching at an angle and firing. And then it's got its little frag AA turrets. Yeah, it's quite cinematic for the Starfall to watch it do its work. Oh, that's quite a few little planes. Wow, this is a beautiful carrier. I just re-downloaded the Finance Hour, so I think there's quite a few stuff in here that haven't seen before or am not familiar with. But you can see it's pretty cool. It's got heavy penetrating civil shells at I think around 200 millimeters. Let me see. 270 millimeter. That's my ideal railgun shell diameter for multi-purpose use, but here is just a gunpowder weapon. Yeah, none of the aircraft are getting very close. Not that they have anything good to hit me with, since guided missiles are banned. And they can't land a bomb on me. And just look at how much these shells are penetrating. It's breaking into these. So it takes quite a number of hits to breach these AI compartments. These, what do you call it? Hangar stuff. Uh, these heavy armor blocks, just because railguns are banned, but it's still quite, moderately effective. Just look at these guns. I love how the turrets are laid out. Not most sensible from the depth's perspective. They all have ejectors, of course, but um, just having all these critical components so close together is not the most ideal. It looks nice though. All right, as melee craft go, this is a bit of a hit and miss, just with us able to connect properly to the target. Fans are really good for melee craft in case they do kind of fall into the water. Ooh, okay. Let's have a look at the damages. These damage. I don't know if we knocked out any guns with that, but it looked nice. I knocked out like almost 10% of his health, 8% health. Uh, yeah, they're still pounding us on us, but we don't have any. Ooh, that's all of his rear turrets gone. Man, these ships are really skinny compared to their neater counterparts. All right, let's see if we're able to get in another broadside. No, we're not. Okay, we can override it and just make sure we clear all the weapons chambers before we come in for the melee attack. Once again, this is a Benevolence melee cruiser. Yeah, we're using drills, drilling away, drilling away. Sometimes we do get stuck into the enemy ship and we stop dealing damage, especially again with something that's lightweight and small like this. So the breadboard makes the ship back away and then do another approach. Sometimes that works, sometimes it works less well. And of course, we use harpoons to lock ourselves onto the target. And sometimes the target is like too low to properly connect. We do have some mini ramps on the bottom to mitigate that. And then I think it might be smart to put in an overwrite to kind of lock pitch onto the target when we're in contact, uh, instead of maintaining a stable pitch, because it doesn't matter if we get into the water, we can get out with these lift fans as well. Um, yeah, not quite having sawn the ship in half, but I think uh, I think you guys get the point. Okay, here we have the hover tank fighting against something that's slightly more expensive. That's loud. The 1915 Congo, and we're rotating our armor and closing in to ideal range. Because we use payload guns, it doesn't matter to our defense how close we are. So the closer range, the better. We're not really dodging anyway. So yeah, everything is frag based. We're just eroding stuff from the outside. We're preferring above waterline targets just to get a bit more likelihood of knocking out the gun barrels. You can see just constant stream of shells in the air. That's kind of what this ship is designed to do. Once again, this ship is called Diplomacy. It's rotating, firing off its diff guns. None of the guns on this craft are chain reactive. It looks like we lost quite a few gun barrels, unfortunately. So yeah, this diplomacy hover tank is purely based on attrition warfare. As you can see, we knocked out this uh, more expensive Congo, two of his guns, and a lot of these barrels are trimmed. I'm not sure. Oh, this one barrel is trimmed. Yeah, not sure how effective they are. Oh, those are nice smokestacks. And for us, where we still got our main guns, even though these two tiny turrets, mortar seems to have been taken out. And all the diff guns have fired already. But we still have almost 200 firepower, whereas what do they have? Less than 100, and you can see, yeah, that's a fight we'll win. So in the interest of time, we'll move on to the next show. So this airborne fortress is designed specifically to be able to take out the Yamato. Let's see. We'll do turning and focus fire. So it has alternate firing mode of doing raking fire, but I think which is more effective against smaller, more lightly armed targets. Just with these ginormous sable guns, I want to kind of optimize for that. As you can see, the whole fortress turns to rotate its armor, having different armor exposed to its target. And then the guns automatically, you can see the white line is the normal position for the guns, and then they telescoping it out as the fortress rotates. Let's get some cinematic shots. So once again, this is ChillBuilder for From the Depths. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. So see you guys next episode. I'll just keep playing this video a little bit longer and then see where I want to cut off for this fight. It's gonna be a long fight. It may be a while until we're able to take down Yamato. It's quite tanky ship. Alright, just if you guys are still around, just showing a little bit of end of this battle. Um, the Yamato has lost two of his turrets. The Sable guns have chewed through this Swiss cheese of armor and finally destroyed two of his guns. He's got one gun left, and the rest of his Citadel armor is, yeah, just completely gone in the middle. We didn't target their turrets for quite a while, and I don't think we have all of our turrets active, but we still have quite a few guns. So I think it looks like they managed to knock out two of our 8 guns, but the other ones are still firing, and we're at 90 to 71. So once again, thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.